G'day traders, happy Monday. Welcome back to the channel. It's Jimmy Trades. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Please give the video a like and turn on the notification icon. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I enjoyed my weekend myself, spent time with family, did some stuff around the house, and getting ready to go away next week. So I won't be on the airwaves next week. There'll be no videos at this stage, unless I decide to do a little video on my holiday. Maybe I'll do something, or might drop something, but at this stage, there'll be no videos next week. So let's make the most of it this week. I have a very busy week ahead, actually, because I have another business that I run. It's extremely busy this week. There's been a couple of projects that have sort of both overlapped when they weren't supposed to. And as a result, it's going to keep me extremely busy. So we've got the schedule up in Trade Foundry. That schedule's up for this week. And we're going to do everything we can to stick to that schedule. Now, the only reason that we would fall away from that schedule at all is literally because I might need to actually get some sleep. So that's a possibility, but we'll do everything we can to stick to the schedule that is up right now. Alrighty. Let's go and jump over to the calendar, do a bit of a weekly look ahead, see what we've got going on. Here we are on Monday, the 24th of March, and we have Monday news at 9:45. So we'll be looking for medium probability trades today. We've got that high impact news at 9:45, straight after open, which is good. So we can sit on our hands till open and then look to position ourselves for any trade opportunities that might present. Looking forward to Tuesday and Wednesday, both days, no news. There is likely, and we'll go and check that in a second, probably oil inventories on Wednesday. It's usually on a Wednesday. But currently, for indices, there is no high impact news. So lower trading opportunities, lower probability on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we have Thursday, we have 8:30 a.m. news, final GDP, QQ, and unemployment claims. So we'll again have medium to higher probability conditions for the Thursday and Friday, also with 8:30 news coming in with the core PCE price index month on month. So medium probability once again. Let's quickly look at the energy calendar. And yes, we do in fact have oil inventories on Wednesday at 10:30. So if you are looking for an opportunity on oil Wednesday, definitely consider either being out of your position if you're in one before 10:30 or holding off until inventories drops. All righty. Let's jump over to the charts. Now, Apex have been kind enough to extend their sale. They're 80% off sale until the end of March. Great opportunity to get some great deals. The 250 and 300K are by far the best deal, in my opinion, right now, because the fee for the PA activation is only $85 per account. Whereas if you do any other account, it's $125. So value for money wise, the 250 and 300K is certainly the best at this stage. Code Jimmy for Apex. And of course, we still have Tradeify running with their 30 to 35% off for the month of March. Okay, so that ends at the end of the month. And that's across all accounts. The 35% is for 50K accounts only, and I think it's only the advanced, but do check on that. Code Jimmy Trades for Tradeify. All right, let's have a look at the weekly chart here on NQ. Now, it looks like we're sort of in no man's land a little bit, but if we have a look, we do have this balanced price range here. And although price closed through that, we immediately rebalanced that as well. And the other thing I'm looking at is the weekly reaction here. So this is the week of the 10th of March. And last week we came down, we respected the 50% level of this buyer's wick. We see the buyers have come in here and sellers tried to push lower. We reached the 50% level and we were able to find some legs and come back up. So it gives me the idea that we could potentially see higher prices. We have got an opening gap here coming off, and I sort of had the feeling we'd have this opening gap to the high side today, and we have seen that. Now, we know gaps like to be filled. We do have this gap up here that's still yet to be filled. At some point, this one here will act as the draw on liquidity because that's quite a strong draw with there being no wick to the downside. For now, though, I'm going to jump down to the daily. We'll do a bit of a top down, of course. But at the moment, I'm looking for price to potentially reach up into this opening gap from a couple of weeks ago. Excuse me. All right, let's clear the chart there and move to the daily. It was definitely a nice candle on Friday. A lot of buyers came in here and we swept out, 3 previous day lows. Okay, so that low resistance liquidity there was all swept out. We have done the same thing here though. And this was a period of consolidation. The only real draw that I could see at the moment is this gap, okay? It's nothing until we sort of get up to here. It's just all been sell side or consolidation. We only have a swing high here or this FVG that's still open. And we have this gap. So that's what I'm looking at this gap here. Moving down to the hourly. So we're going to have a look at our narrative and logic, our structure here. You can see that gap. And we have a change in the state of delivery through here. You can see price respecting that level as well. And then we gapped up at open. And for now, still looking to be bullish. If price wants to drop a little bit lower, we have a bullish FEG here and another here for price to reach for and look to move out of before continuing to move higher. We can see that where that gap is, we have these relative equal highs right through here as well. Looking at this as a breaker, we could even run our standard deviation off the high to the low of the bodies here. We can see we've closed beyond the 2.5 and we can anticipate price to want to reach to the -4. And if we extend through that, then that's up into that gap. Let's move to the weekly and over to ES. So ES telling a slightly different story. Well, not really. I mean, it is telling us a bullish story here, but we didn't have sort of the liquidity that grabs it on NQ like we do here on ES. So it does look good for price to run higher. We've got a gap here. We've got this FEG, so we can utilize this whole area here. We're coming off a swing low, which was also a bullish FEG here on the weekly. So I'd be looking for price to move higher here as well. On the daily, we swept out these lows and some nice buys come in here. We've got a nice buyers week here on Friday. We've gapped up today. We have this gap to act as a draw. And the weekly bearish FEG to draw up into. So we have a look at the hourly. I like this sort of reversal structure here. Change in state of delivery, respected multiple times. Run the standard deviations. The wicks aren't too large here, so I'm going to use the wicks. So this would be our target region, the -2 to 2.5 up here. And looking at price, if we do run lower to try and find support here. Sort of overlapping here. So yeah, looking to see price run up into this target region. Weekly oil, let's go. Put in equal lows down here. We have closed through this bearish FEG here on the weekly. So that's a good sign. What I like is that we've wicked down into, and if we mark out the 50% level, we can see that price came down, has wicked straight onto that 50% level, that consequent encouragement, the midpoint, whatever you want to call it. And it looks like we're targeting previous week high at the moment, which I imagine is also previous day high. So that will be my draw. As we move down to the daily. All right, so we are in a bearish FEG here on the daily. Friday wicked off the midpoint, and then we closed back inside the range. Potentially looking at bearish price action here. So I only want to see price reach for previous day high initially, and then I'll start to reassess, or at least look at the structure on the hourly to see where price is going, or if price is starting to look like making a reversal. Because outside of pushing through and closing beyond this, here's our next draw. We're also bouncing off this opposing candle here. So CL's got a bit of work to do if we're going to close through this bearish FEG. Let's move down to the hourly. certainly had a nice, this was a nice move out of here. And then we had a beautiful change in the state of delivery. I mean, we really had the change in state of delivery down here. So you could look at this as another opposing candle, but what I like to do as well is I'll run my standard deviations off of here. And we can see that our target region, just going to get rid of that. Price is, stuck here at the moment, struggling to get through. That's also that bearish FEG. It was the Thursday that put in the high. So we're actually chasing out Thursday's high with the looks of that, which we're not far away from now. See if we can get some legs here out of oil. Respecting both of these bullish FEGs. We're certainly looking like bullish structure at the moment. We can see this trend as we're sort of pushing through here. So a little breakout to the upside here would validate the idea of potential price move higher, close through the daily bearish FEG, start to see higher prices. Bullish for now, because I do want to see this high taken. Once that high is taken, we'll see how the reaction is at that level. Over to 6E on the weekly. We have reached into, let's clear that chart. Reached into a weekly bullish FEG. We had quite a strong week here on the week of the 3rd of March. You can see price has moved into that gap there, and then looks like we might come out of that gap and move higher using the internal to external concept. We have change in state of delivery through here. Certainly some nice bullish action through this leg here, this weekly leg here. Now, Euro is inversely correlated to Dixie, and they very much move in opposite directions a lot of the time. I can actually give you the percentage on that. Let's have a look. So it is a negative 99% correlation, if I can spit it out. You can see that right there. Look at that. That's how close they are inversely correlated. There's your Dixie, Euro, negative 99. It's crazy how much they move exactly the same in the opposite direction. So you've got to always keep that in mind. So if we're looking at price to be bullish here, then we want to see Dixie looking to be bearish. While we're here, let's do that. Let's have a quick look on the weekly. Does this not look identical in the opposite direction? Coming out of a bullish FEG here into a bearish FEG. So we've got, we're sort of stuck between the PD arrays. However, this is by far the stronger of the two, and the most recent information is located right here. Let's move down to the daily. What do I see straight away on the daily? We have a bearish breaker. We've got stop hunt here, bearish breaker, There's no FVG aligned. Would be nice to have seen some displacement there, but we don't have that. Point of interest is change in the state of delivery. That's where my validation or invalidation comes in. We have a negative change in the state of delivery. If price runs higher and closes through, then I am looking at this to be invalidated. At the moment though, price has reacted off that level nicely. And we could be looking at an open high, low close type of day. So something like this, open high, low close. Okay. Bearish for euro at the moment. That will make Dixie bullish. Let's move over to gold. The weekly. All I can point out here is that price has just continued to motor higher. Just week on week of higher prices. We have this pullback, which is a healthy pullback. We also pulled back into a bullish FEG on the weekly here with gold, and we moved rocketed straight off that. So this opposing candle, if price wants to come lower, this is a great place for price to want to bounce from. Overlapping a bullish FEG, we have this opposing candle. I'm not saying that's going to happen. If we do start to move lower, that's what I'll be looking for. Let's move to the daily. I mean, it's a similar situation on the daily. If you look at this high, that's obviously the wick on the weekly. Again, this is the change in state of delivery here, really, but overlapping with the bullish FEG too. Into a bullish FEG here. Respected. Looking for price to continue its run higher. The only thing that might see price move lower is we do have this swing point candle closure. So price closed back inside the range of this candle. You can see that there. We got that bearish close. And we may see expansion lower through another week. Another day or two, potentially. At the moment, very balanced price for today. Not really bearish, not really bullish. Respecting the 50% level of the buyer's wick. What's the hourly say? We did roll over a little bit here. And we have rolled over and respected bearish PD arrays on this move lower. At the moment, do we have a change in the state of delivery? Not yet. I'm not seeing anything there yet. We really want to see it close beyond this level with displacement. So you can see if we go back to the line chart, we don't have that. Okay, we don't have a solid move above this level. Of course, once we do, then we do have this low resistance liquidity through here and a lot of equal highs for price to want to reach for. Not convinced we're bullish here just yet. We still do have these, look at these relative equal lows through here. There's a really nice draw sitting down here too. So I've got a bullish bias and what looks to be still bearish structure. So I would need to see price either displace through here and start to confirm a change in state of delivery, or we are just going to see price and I'm going to have to pivot from my bullish bias and look for previous day low. All right. Let's move over to GU. Here on the weekly. We did close through this bearish FEG. That was that strong week. We now have this swing point candle closure. We closed back inside the range last week. What I want to see here is as price is pushing higher here, do we respect the 50% level of this seller's wick? And if we do, are we going to see price move lower and down into this bullish FEG? Neutral for GU, it's not as clear to me as EU was. Let's move over to, actually, let's go to the daily quickly on. So see, we did get the closure here through the opposing candles, giving us that change in state of delivery, but we haven't had that displacement. We haven't really had that third closure below. But definitely wanting to wait and see what happens here. We can look for price to respect 50% of this run of opposing candles here. Moving over to Bitcoin. What can Bitcoin do for us? You can see we had that swing point candle closure on the weekly out of a bullish FEG. A nice bullish week last week. We're starting to gain back some of these losses through here. Daily, very messy, isn't it? I want to see closure above this bearish FEG here. We're attacking that level now. We want to see closure above that. Then we can attack this level here and then moving on. Okay. But this is our first obstacle right here. And up until here, we haven't really had any displacement, and this candle's not even closed yet. So hopefully we can see this candle continue to move bullish, close through. That'll see some displacement, and that'll be a nice close through these opposing candles here. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in today. Appreciate you all for being here. Reminder to join up with us and hang out with us in Trade Foundry. We have Chemo's Minute Market Meetup streaming this morning. And of course, we run streams 4 days a week. Remember to grab your Tradeify and your Apex evals, guys, while they're on special. Always a great opportunity to use for one shot, one kill. Try and do that at open. That's what I've done a few times. And expedite those evals as quick as possible. Take care, guys. We'll catch you over in Trade Foundry. Bye for now.